You know, I was doing a little bit of research and I came across a bunch of games that are coming exclusively to the Xbox quote-unquote ecosystem. I realized that we are splitting hairs if we talk about, you know, actual what an exclusive is, but exclusive to their ecosystem is what they're going to go by. So for purposes of this video, that's what we're going to use as well, exclusive to the platform, and this is really cool. So I wanted to go through a list of 10 games that are going to be coming to the Xbox Series consoles that people are going to be losing their minds over. This is really cool because I felt like a lot of people don't really believe me when I say, hey, in a few years time, or you know, a couple years time, we're going to be seeing some incredible stuff and it's going to be a great place to game. So before we start, without a delay, let's go. I'm Crapgamer. This is Crapgamer Reviews. Please like the video if you like it and you want to see more of this kind of content. Otherwise, oh well, you know, I'm going to continue doing stuff that I really kind of want to, and you know, it's going to be interesting to say the least. Now, here's where we're going to get started. Now, first and foremost, obviously, Halo Infinite. Now, this isn't necessarily a Series X exclusive, as it's going to be on everything, but look, there's still a lot of hype around Halo. It didn't show the best a year or so ago. And, you know, there's still some doubts as to whether the campaign's going to deliver. But the multiplayer has always been a really good hook for this franchise. And we're going to have to probably wait and see in terms of how the flighting goes. But it looks like it's going to be a big hit. Free to play for the first time. If you have a TV that's capable and a Series X, you're going to be able to play the multiplayer at 120 frames. You know, I'm not sure the resolution on that. But yeah, it's probably, you can mark this down. This is going to be the biggest launch for a Halo game in the history of Halo because, quite simply put, you have an entire, you know, 40 plus million Xbox Ones capable of playing it. You know, you'll have, by the time it launches, maybe 6 million Xbox Series consoles, and then you have the entire PC stratosphere. You know, like, people will probably want to throw out, you know, that there's, you know, xCloud and stuff. I'm not really counting that stuff as the audience for xCloud so far is the audience that already owns a console or PC. So we're not going to throw those into the mix quite yet. But yeah, so this has the definite makings of a huge smash hit for Microsoft, and you know, this could be the biggest Halo ever. The staying power is going to be what's going to really kind of come into play, whether or not this franchise can, you know, stick around with all the other games that are offering like BR modes and things like that. So it's going to be interesting to see for sure. Next up, Forza Horizon 5. Yes, more Halo, more Forza, I get it, but let's be honest, if you're an Xbox fan already, you probably are into the ecosystem strictly for Halo, Forza, Gears, and those type of games to begin with. Now, where would Xbox be without the Forza Horizon series? I shudder to think, because even back in the early days of the Xbox One, it was like, thank goodness, you know, Forza Horizon 2, Forza Horizon 3, which might be the best racing game of all time, and then they came out with Forza Horizon 4, which wasn't my favorite, but Forza Horizon 5 looks absolutely incredible. Obviously, this is still going to be a cross-gen game, but this is something I think this series in general is something that I think even hardcore PlayStation fans respect. And when you type it in into Google search, Forza Horizon 5, one of the first things that comes up is on PlayStation 5 because they really want the game. And I can't blame them. You know, listen, it's a fantastic franchise, and it just seems like it does get better and better. Hard to top 3, though, I must admit. But, you know, they do a good job with it. So, you know, I think that a lot of people are very excited about it. Next up would be Starfield. Yes, Starfield is going to be a, you know, Xbox exclusive. They confirmed this. This is the next big thing from Bethesda Games. Now, again, what kind of impact is this going to have? I think that this game is going to be a huge impact on stuff like Game Pass and just in general of recognition for Xbox. Yes, you can play it on PC. Cool, because I think a lot of people probably will. But you have to keep in mind there's also a big subsect of gamers who don't mess with PC. So, you know, to be able to have basically an exclusive, and listen, like, I like KOTOR, and I always consider that Xbox exclusive, but that's on PC as well. This is the same type of situation. You know, this is going to be huge. You know, their first new IP in what they said, like 25 years or something like that. So that's a huge deal. And to get that exclusive to your platform is absolutely incredible, to say the least. So they should really kind of, you know, fans should be really excited about this. And the fact that it's coming next year, I think, is pretty great as well. The next one up is Fable. Yes, I know like some of you probably don't know me, or you know me as a PlayStation guy, quote unquote, but what you maybe didn't know is what a huge Fable fan I am. The Fable 2 might be one of my all-time favorite RPGs, and I know people, will probably make fun of me for that fact or whatever. I even like Fable 3. I thought Fable 3 took some steps back, and they were forced to create a game very quickly. But if you think about this, right, Xbox is quickly becoming probably the best first-party place for RPGs, like different kinds of RPGs. Now, just going back to Starfield for a second, they kind of defined that as a Han Solo simulator. Well, I'm a Star Wars guy, so you kind of have my interest there, but Fable for sure definitely has my interest because it has a lot of the things that I like that kind of atmosphere, and like hopefully that humor is still there. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can bring with this new game. And, listen, I trust Playground Games. They do a phenomenal job. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm sure that a lot of people are excited for it as well. Next up, another RPG, Avowed. Now, this is a game that we don't know a whole lot about, but this game could sneak out next year, but most likely probably 2023. And I realize some of these games are years away, but this is what I've been saying for a while now, so it really shouldn't come as a surprise. Now, what is Avowed? We don't really know, but I guess it takes place in the Pillars of Eternity kind of world. Now, Pillars of Eternity is more of like a PC RPG, like a real hardcore RPG, and so I think this is probably more of a take for, more, I would say maybe casual RPGs. First person, sort of like a Skyrim look to it. Apparently it's different than Skyrim and much bigger than Skyrim, but it does have my interest because I was such a fan of Skyrim, and it's basically one of the only games in that whole Elder Scrolls situation that I even liked. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think that it's it definitely has all the capabilities and makings of a huge franchise, and so I'm excited. Next up would be Perfect Dark. I like Perfect Dark, and I thought Perfect Dark, I liked it from the beginning. I had the N64 version. I bought the Perfect Dark Zero on Xbox 360 at launch. So obviously I'm very much interested in this. First of all, Perfect Dark, if done right, could be a great game to take the place of Splinter Cell, because it's pretty clear at this point that Ubisoft is never going to give us a new Splinter Cell game. Perfect Dark was kind of that ilk, that kind of spy, sneak, stealth, and I could imagine them doing something like this. So the Coalition building this from the ground up sounds like it could be very interesting. So I'm very interested in seeing what they have to offer just in general. Next up, Indiana Jones. Yes, look, this might not be exclusive, but hey, it might be. If it is exclusive, hey, I think that's awesome that Microsoft was able to lock down something so impressive as an Indiana Jones title. Now, we're probably a few years away from getting this game or being able to play it, but I'm very interested in it. Obviously, there's going to be another Indiana Jones movie coming out, supposedly an Indiana Jones series on Disney+, so it all ties in. I don't see why this wouldn't be, the only possibility for it not being exclusive was that it was possibly this deal signed before Microsoft's purchase of Bethesda went through, and so it was a situation like Deathloop or whatever. But still, definitely something to look forward to. Next up, a surprise announcement from this past E3 that I've been looking into and I think looks pretty amazing. This game called Contraband. It looks like it's going to be sort of like this open world co-op story game, and it just kind of sounds like a lot of fun. Where you can go on heists and stuff like that with friends or whatever. So I think that, this is going to be a game from Avalanche that is going to probably, when I look at it on the outside, probably won't be something that's going to score tens across the board or anything, but it's probably going to be hashtag fun. And I think that's something that a lot of people are going to be interested in, just playing with their friends or whatever. Next up, Forza Motorsport. Yes, that's right. It's just called Forza Motorsport now, which is cool, right? Like, listen, this is going to be next gen only. It's going to be implementing ray tracing and stuff like that. I know there's 2 Forza games in here. That's why I threw in an extra game here at the end, because I'm actually doing 11 exclusive. But yeah, I'm interested to see this. I like both the Horizon and Motorsport series for different reasons, but I'm very much looking forward to Forza Motorsport and seeing what this can do on next gen console only. So yes, very excited. Next up, this is number 10, Hellblade 2. listen, I'm not the biggest Hellblade fan. I firstly and greatly admit that, but you would think that it's pretty obvious that PlayStation fans would be a little bit jealous of this game. Think about it. The original Hellblade was a PlayStation 4 console exclusive for a number of time, and or a period of time, excuse me, and you know, sold extremely well. Sold best on the PlayStation 4. So obviously, you know, they have a vested interest in the second part. You know, who knows? Maybe with the slightly bigger budget, this will have like less of the looking puzzles and more action and better combat, and then I think they can really tie it all together, and this could be a big hit for them. So I think that this is a game that could potentially surprise people. So be on the lookout for that. Last but not least, just because I wanted to get an extra one in here for doing 2 Forzas, Elder Scrolls 6. Let's just be real. This game is probably 2026, maybe even 2027. Man, I'm going to be an old man by then in my 40s. But, you know, listen, this is a huge franchise, and obviously people are going to want to continue to play these games and continue to, you know, see where the next one goes. So, again, here is 11 exclusives, and these are bigger exclusives. You know, I mean, you could make a you know, make sort of a case that maybe Hellblade 2 is kind of AA, but for the most part, these are all AAA exclusives that are coming within the next couple of few years, and some even this year. And, you know, I think this is a very good list. Microsoft has done a good job of getting out hype lately, and so I wanted to lay it all out in front of you. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy it, like it, fact 'em up. Crapgamer, out.